What's the worst date you've ever been on? I'll go first. He moved to another girl whilst on the date with me. So let's go back to summer 2022. I met him at an event and we were talking for about a year and we hadn't met up since. And we met in summer 2023 and that was our first date. So you're probably wondering why I met him a year later. It wasn't someone I was thinking I was going to go on a date with. We used to talk on the phone a lot. We just didn't meet up within that year, but this time we actually did because we were both free. We actually went on our date on a Saturday night. And if you know me, I am so against first dates on a Saturday just because I think it's such a precious day. But because I'd already met this person before, I thought, you know what, it's not like a first meeting, so I'll allow it. And it was a last minute plan.
Well, there's nothing wrong with meeting for a first date on a Saturday, especially when you're single and when you're in a position where you're truly interested in finding someone, a lifelong partner, or just maybe a boyfriend or someone to do life with even. Why not a husband, a potential husband? If you're in that position, then nothing wrong with meeting for a first date on a Saturday. You have to put yourself in that mindset because the more you give yourself excuses not to go on first dates, the more you waste time. And it's counterproductive. It delays you from reaching your goal of actually finding someone. So what I recommend is that you put yourself in a mindset where you think of dating as something exciting and fun, even if it doesn't go your way, even if a first date doesn't work out, you never end up disappointed. You're already in that mindset of meeting new people, of being friendly, nice, having a laugh. Even if you don't get along, even if you're not compatible, then you would have met someone new, you would have socialized, you would have had a laugh on your own terms. And if you want to be able to do that, you should always reassure yourself by saying, in the worst scenario case, I will leave. You should promise that to yourself. I'm not going to be sitting there getting tortured, suffering, not wanting to be there and staying because I'm friendly and nice. If it comes down to that, I will just leave. If you trust yourself in that way, then dating can become very fun and exciting. And you could, with no regret, use your Saturday night because you would go and meet someone, and unless you're having fun, enjoying yourself and having a good time, you know, because you promised yourself, you know that you're going to be leaving and you don't have to endure a long period of time where you're not having fun, you're not having a good time, and you have to stay with the person. You're grown up. Give yourself permission to just leave if you don't like it. This way, dating becomes interesting.
So we met up in Shoreditch, which is so bait. Like, I really didn't want to meet him in such a bait area, but it happened. It's easy for both of us to get to. When I saw him, I was like, wow. I forgot how good looking he was, and like his WhatsApp DP just wasn't giving, because guys cannot take photos. It wasn't awkward when we met because obviously we had a lot of phone convos before, and he's really chatty, I'm really chatty. And when he saw me, he was like, oh, you look really nice. And we were just catching up, and he was telling me about how he quit his job. Then he started to say, oh, I still got like loads of savings though. I was in a position where I can quit for a little while. So I was like, cool, good for you. Anyways, so we go to this bar in Shoreditch and it was £10 entry, and I got my card out because I was like, I'm gonna pay for myself. But it's not even like he tried to offer to pay for both of us. I was like, okay, cool. Like, do you know what? It's fine. I can pay for myself.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I would have done the same because I don't like getting embarrassed and waiting for someone to pay for me when they didn't offer and just making the situation even more awkward. So I would have taken my card out and waited. But at the same time, the moment I would have tapped that card and paid, and he would have just let that happen. This is a friend. This is a friend for me now. It's no longer a date. We're building a friendship here, because if you're taking me on a date and you know there is an entry fee, and you take me to that venue or that bar or wherever we are going, and then they inform me that there is an entry fee, you should have already planned to pay for both of us to enter, because you asked me on this date. What are you going to do? Are you going to pay for yourself and go inside and leave me outside? What's your plan if, let's say, in case I don't have this money, because he said the entry fee was £10. Let's say I only have enough money to pay for my drink or my meal. If it comes down to it, if the guy asks me, then I can still save face. I can pay for that much for myself, for my meal, what I ate or what I drank. But let's say I only have that. I don't have an entry fee too, because that's unplanned now. So obviously as a girl, I'm gonna overthink all this in my head, and I would rather keep my money and save it for later in case I'm asked to split the bill. It's a first date. I don't know this guy. I could choose to eliminate him, never see him again if he wants to split the bill, but I should still have the the money. I can't force him or beg him to pay for me, right? So if you add in an entry fee, and let's say I didn't have that, let's say I don't have that, I genuinely don't, what are we gonna do then? Are you gonna enter and leave me outside? Would I pay for the entry fee, and then later, if this guy turns around, because I see that coming since he's letting me pay for entry, if he turns around and asks me to split the bill, what should I do? Tell him I don't have the money, I already paid whatever much I had and now I have less. So why put me in that weird, uncomfortable situation? If you're planning to take us somewhere as a man, you should have enough money for any type of entry fee, because I didn't plan that out, especially if you're going to turn around later and ask me to split the bill. I can't. Let's say I don't have the money, I didn't plan any of it. And like I always say, the guy should pay for the dates anyway and see what he can afford, what's within budget, and then only take a girl for something he can afford rather than come for her cash, her money. As a girl, she probably has way more expenses than him on the daily anyway.
Actually go up to the bar now and place our order for the drinks. I just ended up tapping my card and paying for it. He was like, oh, why'd you do that? And I was like, it's fine, like, you can get the next round. But he got the next round and then I got the third round. And where we were, the bar kind of turned into a club. Like, it was dark, people were dancing, and it very much felt like I was more in a club rather than a bar. And by this point, he had made it very clear that he was into me. So now we're at the bar and he's getting the fourth drink. And he tapped his card and the bartender literally just went. It was then when I realised his card had declined.
See, and that's the problem with modern dating, is that I see all these men, I made a series about it, that go on a first date and they don't have the money. Sometimes they don't even have the money to cover their own meal. They say they forgot their wallet, or they make up an excuse, or that guy who took the girl to the cinema and he didn't even pay for her ticket and he got buy one get one free voucher, and that's how he got his ticket, because she paid for her own. Like, I see many ridiculous things like that. And then when we do talk and speak up and say that a guy should have enough money, at least not to embarrass us, then we are labeled as gold diggers and all of that, as if we're looking for guys that have yachts and that are on that level of wealth, when all we want is for you at least to pay for your own meal, your own drink. Even that sounds to be very difficult nowadays. Forget paying for the girl, which should be the norm according to me. And if I say don't take me for a first date somewhere with an entry fee, where there's an entry fee, unless you're going to be the one paying, because I may not be able to pay for that, then I'm the bad one. I'm the one who should not be dating, and that disqualifies me, and I should at least have money for an entry fee. But you're going to show up and not even have money for your drink. That's ridiculous. So of course I'm allowed to not want the guy to take me somewhere where there's an entry fee if he doesn't even have the money for his drink. That's what I spoke about earlier.
He turned around and he said to me, oh, like, my card's declined. I don't have my other card with me. And I was thinking, but I didn't want him to feel like embarrassed or anything, so I'll get it, it's fine. In my head, I was thinking, like, earlier you were telling me how you quit your job and you were in a position to do so. So why is your card declining? So after that hoo-ha, I went to the toilet and he was waiting for me at the bar. So I've gone to the toilet, I've come out and I see a girl talking to him. In his defense, he was like leaning up against the bar facing the toilets. And the girl looked like she was trying to talk to him and he was just being polite by responding. He wasn't like interacting with her or paying her much attention. I've come out now and he's seen me and he's like walked away and he's come over to me. And I was like, oh, you all right? But I wasn't too suspicious at this point, because like I said, it looked like she was talking to him and he wasn't really entertaining it. We continue dancing and this girl comes over to me and says, are you two boyfriend and girlfriend, or is this like a first date? And I was thinking, like, bit intrusive. I said, oh, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. And she was like, oh, okay. And then I said to him, I was like, that's a bit weird. Why is she saying that?
I know what happened. He's just testing the waters. I know why that girl asked you that too, by the way. He's the one who approached her. He's the one who spoke to her. He still made it look, because he's a smart guy. He watched his body language. He knew you're going to come back from the bathroom at some point. You're going to look at him. You're going to be confused because he's talking to another girl. So he positioned himself in a way to look at least when you want to judge their non-verbal language and all that, he positioned himself in a way to look innocent, to look like he was the one who was approached, but you don't know. These are not facts. This is what you're assuming from what you're looking at when you came out of the bathroom. He could have approached her and then backed off and then put himself in that positioned himself like that in that specific pose so that when you come out it looks normal. Why is he doing all of this? To test the waters, to see what type of girl you are, if you're just going to brush it off, not say anything, which is what you did, sort of, or if you're not going to allow it and it's going to be unacceptable, you're not just going to let it go and you're going to tell him, you're going to call him out when you come, regardless of who's talking to who looks like they approached the other. You would say, why are you talking to this girl when we're on a date? Or you would call him out, say something, then he would know you're not to be messed with. But that's not what you did. He's probably going to repeat this type of thing through the night because he saw that you're okay with it, that you're very nice, kind, that you are not the type of girl to make a scene.
Anyways, now he's gone to the toilet and I'm waiting for him, and as he's come out, he's literally talking to another girl. And this time he actually looked like he was entertaining it. I literally looked at him like, are you serious? And then walked off. And he literally came behind me. He grabbed my hand. He was like, where are you going? And I was like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, you're literally there talking to a girl. He was like, what? Like, I know her. Like, I know her. I'm like, do you? He was like, no, trust me. I know her. I'm not talking to her like that. And he was very convincing. So I was like, okay, like, fine. Literally 5 minutes later, we're dancing and the liquor must have got to this boy's head, because how is he pulling another girl and talking to her in front of me? And I literally said to him, I was like, I'm gone, like, bye. And he's come after me saying, no, like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm going home. Like, how are you trying to violate me like that? And then he was like, I like you. I was thinking, mate, you got a funny way of showing it. Continued to leave because I was like, there's no way you're disrespecting me like that. I'm thinking you're going to get away with it.
Before you get confused, and because this guy is trying to give you mixed signals, he says he likes you that much and then he approaches other girls. I think personally he's just stopping his sugar mama. We hear about sugar daddies all the time. Oh, you girl, you're looking for a sugar daddy. Oh, the other girl is a gold digger. We hear about this all the time. And when we look at reality, there are all these men that are trying actually to make the women pay instead. So this guy, she said that he told her he quit his job, that he can afford to do that, he has some savings, and he already mentioned all of that. So clearly now you're the one paying for his drinks, his card declined, he doesn't have a job. Clearly he's not going to let his sugar mama leave now. Who's going to pay for everything while he's having fun, while he's talking to other girls, while he's flirting with random strangers?
So he's running after me now. He grabs my hand and starts saying some really pervy things. I was just a bit taken back, like, what the fuck? So I'm calling an Uber at this point because I was so done with this situation. Whilst I'm trying to book my Uber, he's on the phone to someone. And I heard him say something like, I'll be over there in like an hour. So after he's hung up the phone, he's trying to talk to me and be like, sorry, like, it's not what you think, blah, blah, blah. And at this point, the liquor must have got to my head because I said to him, give me your phone. And he actually gave it to me. And the last person on his call list was Summer. He was calling another girl to try and have a bunk up with her because I said no. So to say I flipped was an understatement. The way I started cussing this guy for the violations I had received that night. And as I'm cussing him, luckily my Uber arrives and I could just get away from the situation. I go home and I wake up the next morning to a message from him saying, I'm going to call you after I've been to church. Are you going to repent about what you did yesterday? Because how you sinning the night before and then you're going to go pray to God? But I told him I literally didn't want to hear any of it. I did not care. Fast forward a year later, I see him at the same event I've initially met him at, and he tries to talk to me. I just said to him, do you not remember what happened last time I met you? This guy had the audacity to say to me, it was the first time I met you, like, I didn't owe you anything. You weren't my girlfriend, so technically I wasn't tied down to you. The way my jaw hit the floor, there's just a level of respect for someone that you need to have, right, if you're going on a date with them.
This guy cannot contain himself. He's talking to random girls while you're with him on a first date. After you paid for his drinks, he should have at least had the decency to commit to you for that night. I'm not saying marry you or make you his bride or whatever. That night at least, the girl that you asked out on a date, the girl paid for your drinks. She's here for you to get to know you, and you're gonna leave her there and go talk to 3 random girls, I think. And then he called another girl, planned on going to see her after that, meaning in the middle of the night, probably, because I'm assuming your date happened in the evening anyway. So clearly this is a player, this is someone immature. You should not be talking to him again. This guy is a walking red flag. This guy has the chance of giving you an STD if you allow him. That's what I'm thinking at this point.
He just continues to say, but oh, you know, that's just how I am. But obviously if it was our like 8th or 9th date, I wouldn't have done that. But I was thinking you shouldn't do that at all if you're on a date with someone. Anyways, he tried to spin the block and I shut it down. So yeah, that's what happened.
So that's it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, if you are a single woman that is actively and strategically dating for marriage, meaning to find your lifelong partner, a potential husband, hopefully, then I have created a community that will help you and support you and probably guide you too during this very difficult journey that dating for marriage can be, especially in today's world. So go ahead and check the link for it in the description box under this video, and I will see you there.